Telegraph now discussing the Society of Authors, which is what Paul calls his Harry Potter fan fiction club. That's right, isn't it, Paul?
That's absolutely right, Mark. I didn't realise you knew. A Society of Authors official, Tim Tate, has quit after claiming the union is undermining the complaints of gender-critical writers. Some members of the Writers' Union have also raised concerns that it failed to defend those who are sceptical about gender ideology. Can you imagine that, Nick? So my first reaction to this is, why do we insist every day that everyone has to think the same? This feels like this again to me. What is this obsession with everybody having to feel... We use the word ideology for a reason, because it's the absolute ideal of any particular situation. And we're constantly aiming for that. And the only way we can ever reach any sort of harmony is through debate, right? This sort of stuff doesn't allow... I'm going off on one now. I'm ever sorry, Mark.
Go on. Actually, Nick and I are going to get a coffee.
Yeah, you go. Sorry. Sorry, Nick.
I can actually read a novel, ironically.
No, listen. Paul, do not self-edit. Not on headliners.
No, thanks very much. But, you know, who decides what we think?
Yeah.
Why do we have to think the same way? How can we reach any conclusion without debate? And if we're told what to think, we can't have debate, can we, Nick?
No, but this is... I mean, it's the ongoing battle, isn't it, between the gender-critical side and the trans rights activists. I tend to side with the gender-critical side because of the concerns about safety for women. Although I still think, actually, if you really take the red pill, they'll realise that feminism is also flawed. But we don't want to go there today. But don't you think, in general, publishing has gone woke anyway? It's another kind of dead woke industry. And also the novel, I hate to say it because I've got an MA in literature, Paul, as you probably know.
What a waste of taxpayers' money that was.
Absolutely, but...
that's cash we won't get back.
The novel's kind of dead anyway. I mean, how many good living writers are there? There's Michelle Houellebecq, who's getting on. There's J.M. Coates there. There's hardly anyone else. And they're pretty old.
Dean Koontz, yeah.
There's him.
Gilly Cooper.
So my point is...
Barbara Taylor Bradford.
Publishing has descended into wokeness like so many industries.
Mills and Boon.
Throwing my story at you in disgust.
Yeah, sorry. And, you know, it's not me, Nick.
But you're so right about this push for groupthink.
Why? How does that make us...
Back in the day, people used to think different things, and that was OK.
Exactly. And this just feels really anti-progressive to me. How can you have to be able to challenge absolutely everything? Because today's...
Especially in writing, and when you're a writer.
Well, exactly. What my point was going to be, if everybody who writes for newspapers or writes fiction or non-fiction is saying the same thing, I'm not going to read it anymore.
Well, the wonderful novelist Kazuo Ishiguro, who won the Booker Prize for The Remains of the Day, said that what's really nasty about cancel culture is how invisible it is, because what's happening is writers are now self-editing. They're actually cancelling themselves at the laptop, so that the wonderful creativity is actually limited and curtailed before they've even started.
Yeah, it used to be that, you know, if you created something, it was no longer yours after you let it go and it was for somebody else. By the time people are creating things now, by the time they've let it go, they've already decided what the viewer or reader is going to make of it, because they've edited it themselves, and we're just getting what they believe the reader would want to see.
Can I also raise an objection, Nick Dixon, with the expression gender critical? Because what gender critical means is anybody that would like to point out what they were taught at school in GCSE biology, which is there are two biological sexes, right? That's actually something that we're taught at school. Apparently now that's controversial. You're called gender critical, if that's the point you make. Can we just change that to gender factual?
You're right. It's one of those cases of making that sound like the deviation rather than the norm.
Right.
Much like cis man. It's like, I'm not a cis man.
No.
And then people say, oh, well, cis exists in parts of chemistry. Yeah, but don't apply it to human sexuality. It's ridiculous. The word cis needs to go. You're right, maybe gender critical should go as well.
Yeah.
What would you replace it with? Just gender, just
gender,
just woman.
Yeah, that'd be quite nice.
Adult human female.
Yeah. You're not a cis man, are you?
No, absolutely not. Under no circumstances.
No. I think you're a sissy.
How dare you? Isn't that like a homophobic term of abuse?
And you know what? You've earned it. Nick Dixon is actually worth getting cancelled for. He's such a sissy. Literally, he runs like a girl. Now